guys, so this is David. He's our guide. He's gonna be showing us around Cianjur, and our lives are in his hands when it comes to getting us around safely. Hello.
Come.
So first day here, we're downtown Cianjur, and I don't really know how we're getting around. Our guide, David, is taking us. We're on our way to a rural village and we're gonna hike to get there, but for the transportation there, we're just taking all local transport as part of the mentality of the sort of the homestay that we're staying at. It's all local transport, no private cars, no Ubers, no taxis or anything like that. You're traveling like the locals do, and it's really fun and really interesting so far, just hopping in and out of the minivans. For us, we would have no idea, but yeah, David's taking us. So we've taken a couple minivans this morning, and now we're just walking along some train tracks to get to our next pickup location, or next little bus stop or minivan stop. So apparently before we catch our minivan that we seem to be walking forever for, there's a shortcut through an agricultural school here. The security guard at the gate wanted a photo, and that was kind of like the bribe to take this shortcut, which is fine. Waiting for our last bus, which is apparently a pickup. So we stopped in one village to drop off the original passengers of this pickup, which is a boy who was sick from the hospital. And when stopping to drop him off, all the locals have come out to see us. David's found us some scooter transport out of the blue.
Yeah, hello. We are on
So no more vehicles, it's walking time to the rural village, and it is somewhere over there, up in those mountains, somewhere.
David is telling us that it'll take an hour or so to get to the chief's home, where we'll stop for a local Indonesian lunch.
It's starting to rain now, but David was saying there's somewhere we could take shelter just above where we are now on the mountain.
Homestay is behind.
They weren't kidding about being rural. They've gone quite the distance.
Coconut?
So when you have a coconut, after you've eaten it, you crack it in half and you scrape out the insides and mix it all together, and into that you mix in palm sugar. It's kind of the local treat here.
What do you think?
That's a good treat. So apps are done, lunchtime now. They've just prepared a vegetarian lunch for us. Tempeh, Cancun, some eggs, sambal, and rice. Super simple, but we're pumped because we are starving. We're given some raw stink beans as well, which is really, really good. You're a stink bean.
You are.
Man, I'm stuffed. So we just hung out there for a bit, chatted, relaxed. But knowing our luck, while we were in there, it hasn't rained at all, but all around us is looking pretty dodge. Hello. Hi. It may be raining, but it's still a lovely hike to do. The locals here have been really nice. The scenery's been gorgeous, and just gotta roll with the punches, I guess. When it comes to the weather, you can only plan for so much. Happy with your umbrella?
David gave me an umbrella.
I think right now we're just kind of walking down towards where we're gonna get picked up by multiple random forms of transport to get home. David was just explaining to me that the palm tree, another kind of byproduct or use for it with the many uses it already has, is that the bark is torn off and it's used to make a pulp, and this pulp is rinsed with water, and the liquid that's left behind, the starch that's left, is let to settle and then dehydrated, and that's when you get this kind of like palm starch, and like all the mee goreng and all the noodles and everything, that's what they're made out of. It's not, you know, regular flour or cornstarch or anything like that. It's palm starch. So this is the palm starch that they'll be making noodles and bread and things out of. It's got a bit of a funky smell. So the village we were at was at the top of here, and it was hard to tell because there wasn't much of a viewpoint, but we had to walk all the way down and up and around, and now we've all come here. Bigger truck.
Up here.
Local transport all the way. That was a rough ride. Thank God I don't have diarrhea. End of the day, kind of pooped. But it was good, interesting. Tomorrow we're gonna go see if we can see a floating village. And I don't have the keys to my room, but yeah, floating village should be interesting. I hope it is. But yeah, it's the end of our day. So we got a little distance to go, but we're trying to get onto the back of a pickup truck. So we finally got on a pickup and we're just on the way to the floating village right now. Hopefully not too long, it's a bit of a bumpy road. So we've gone to the floating village and it's really interesting to see. So essentially what happened was a dam was built downstream decades ago and the villages that were here were relocated and the land was essentially lost. But some of the villagers have come back, mostly new people, and have set up basically an agricultural system of farming fish. Come to one floating fish farm, and these ones aren't for consumption, they're ornamental fish, so they're going to be sold to pet shops or those like little fish foot spa places. I wonder if I can dip my feet in. I've never done one of these fish spa things and it is so weird. These fish feel like little pins and needles, almost like little electric shocks on the bottom of our feet. Oh, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I think we've reached the limit. You gonna dip your feet back in or are you done?
No, I'm so done. Don't like it.
We're stopping at one restaurant, and the reason we're stopping here is because apparently you can only find this in Cianjur. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll find out.
This dish consists of bean sprouts, sago noodles, fried tofu, boiled eggs, ketupat, vinegar, and taucho, a fermented soybean seasoning created in Cianjur. The best place to get it turns out to be right here, where the owner uses his grandfather's recipe from 1947.
I like it.
It's good because it's something we haven't had before.
Pretty good.
Oh, so he just makes it out of...
Yeah. Hook industry in Harapur.
So what I thought was lemon juice was actually like a homemade vinegar that he makes himself out of just different things like rice, grains, just let it ferment, and yeah, really, really good. But yeah, we would have never have known this if we didn't have a guide to translate. So we're at Lampgan railway station, and we're here for two reasons. One, to find a new route to Megalithic Site for future travelers, and two, David's interested in the historical value, because when the Dutch ruled, apparently they would come up with the train and they would scream to the locals, "Lamp again, lamp again," and it would mean turn the light on in the tunnel essentially, but they didn't know that. So this area now is called Lamp again, just due to the confusion. So we've had a couple mixed opinions about the distance to get to the megalithic site. Some of the locals are saying 3, some are saying 7 kilometers, but I think we're gonna try and get this truck here. pickup number 2. We never mind taking interesting trails along, you know, forest paths or jungle floors or anything like that, but I won't lie, if we had to walk all the way up this road, it would have been boring and hot as hell. I am glad that we found this pickup. It's really good having David as a guide as well, because he's not only interested in the destination, but the journey to get there. And it's worth it for us too, because we just don't want to be in a minivan the entire time or something like that and then just get dropped off and then taken home. It's nice to have a bit of a journey and a bit of an adventure trying to get there.
This is as far as our pickup goes, so it's time for our feet to do the rest. David tells us we're not too far off now.
So right off the bat, we have a choice between modern government steps or the original steps that were here from whenever this thing was created. Easy steps?
No, it's like, we're literally the only people walking up these steps. All the Indonesians have beelined straight for the easy route.
So, original trek is not the easiest. It's a little bit steep, inconsistent steps, big, small, small, big. And yeah, David was just saying he understands why no local tourists will do this when there's an easier route, but this is the original footpath up, so we decided to take it. This is pretty much just a pile of rocks, but what's interesting is that this entire mound that looks like just some rocks and grass is entirely man-made or believed to be. And it might point to an advanced civilization in Indonesian history that people don't really know about. And there's a town not too far, David was telling us, that there's similar stones where they believe that the stones to build this were sort of constructed, shaped, and prepared. But that's one reason archaeologists are really trying to get into it, is to find out more about it and what this is, to figure out the Indonesian history. So apparently this was the king's seat, or the ruler at the time. And holding true to our luck, there are some rain clouds. So time to go. Now we've kind of retraced our steps to a junction in the road, and now we're trying to find a different way to get back home. We're staying in Cianjur, but right now we're trying to find if there's a way to get to the Sukabumi region and from there get back. That way we're just not backtracking the same way the whole time, but he hasn't done this before and we obviously don't know. So this will be just kind of him planning for new travelers to come if this works out. All right, so we're walking through some tea fields now, and we're trying to get down this path before the rain comes, because it does look like there's some off in the distance. But this might work, it might not.
And the road, we meet the road there.
Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully that's not a river.
Yeah, that's true.
But if there's rice fields, we can try.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is it? Oh my god.
So we're out of the thick of it now and just going through some rice paddies, but we need to get into town and ask how or where we go, because this is new for David as well. He's never been here. Starting to rain now. Perfect. Double coat. Wet?
Wet. But we're almost home, I think. I don't know, actually. Maybe not.
So what we thought was going to be just a short little ride ended up being like a 30-minute scooter ride back to... Actually, we're not back anywhere. We're in Sukabumi now. And we need to try and find a bus or a train. I'm not sure. So yeah, it was a really interesting day. You know, the megalithic site was nice, but it was also just fun to kind of explore and take some alternative routes around. But I think it's time now for some hammock love and just relaxation. Doing, Pat?
It's been a great adventure in Cianjur with David as our guide. With him showing us his town and the surrounding area, we were able to see a different side that we wouldn't have normally been exposed to. We were lucky enough to have been heading in the same direction as him, so we all caught the train together.
David's hanging around to see us off, which is really nice of him. Really nice guy.
Thank you so much.
Okay, have a good time, yeah?
Thank you very much, David. We really enjoyed it.
I hope we meet again, but I don't know when.
I hope so too. I'll send you a CD when I have it ready.
Economy over there, but you can...
Yeah.